In one of my previous videos recently, I spoke about the conflict that happened between the IDF Chief of Staff and the Defense Minister. And I spoke to you about a meeting that the IDF Chief of Staff was asking the Defense Minister to have in relation to certain promotions and certain positions, certain upgrades within the Israeli army. They wanted to bring in new people in new leadership positions. No. The Defense Minister was telling him, shrugging him off, I don't want to see you. Up until he agreed to see him. He agreed to see him. And then what happens? The IDF Chief of Staff comes to the office of the Israeli Defense Minister, and what does the Defense Minister do? He doesn't allow him in. It's not him personally who didn't allow him in, by the way. His secretary. Zamir, the IDF Chief of Staff, and the Defense Minister is one on the other side of Netanyahu. The head of the Israeli army is coming for a prearranged meeting with the Israeli Defense Minister, who's supposed to be one level above him, for a pre-scheduled meeting. And the Defense Minister tells his secretary, don't allow him in? Look at that chaos. Look at the level of chaos. A pariah entity, I'm telling you. If there were like banana republics, Israel is a rotten avocado republic, whatever you want to call it. Or a rotten tomato, or tomato, if you're in Britain. Total mess. He doesn't allow him in. What is the excuse from the IDF, from the Israeli Defense Minister? He says, I told him don't come. I told him before don't come. But he came. Liar. Liar, he's lying. He wouldn't have come, the IDF Chief of Staff. He came after the Israeli Defense Minister told him, yeah, sure. Okay, now we'll have the meeting. And that meeting, what is it in relation to? It's in relation to assignments within the Israeli army that is supposed to take on the biggest campaign and have decisions being made tomorrow. Tomorrow they should be sitting down and saying what they want to do in Gaza. Do you see the level of garbage and stupidity and nonsense and propaganda? Do you see the level of mess? Netanyahu is saying we want to occupy Gaza. Drafts were sent to 250,000 people. They want to have 6 divisions in. 6 divisions to occupy Gaza City. Firstly, oh my goodness, what is this Gaza City? What have you done, Gaza, to this world? What kind of power do you have, Gaza? The superpower, the United States, and the genocide entity, they can't defeat you. What kind of power do you have? Unbelievable power. And despite that, they can't even get their army to go and invade Gaza City. So the defense minister is refusing to meet the IDF Chief of Staff to talk about who's going to actually run the show, something that they should be agreeing on tomorrow. Is the picture clear? Is the campaign clear now? Nothing. They don't know anything from what they're doing. Everything is exposed. Propaganda. That's Israeli media. The same media that's now speaking about senior commanders in the IDF going through burnout. All of them suffering mentally and physically and psychologically. The army being under attrition, not having the capacity to go into another campaign. Over half of those who are ordered to go and serve refuse orders. Previous IDF chiefs of staff calling to refuse orders. Do you understand the magnitude of this little pariah state, paper tiger state, flexing muscles, pretending like they can do something, when they can't beat the unbeatable Palestinian resistance? let alone try and flex muscles against Iran and other countries too. And it didn't stop there with the IDF chief of staff. Now they're bad-mouthing the IDF chief of staff. What are they saying? He has his secret beehive. He has a secret elite group that he's consulting behind the back of the Israeli government and without approval and without due diligence. How? He is speaking and getting advice from a number of sources outside of the military system. His assistant briefs journalists contrary to procedures, and separately, the IDF is talking about it. What are they trying to do? They're trying to portray the same IDF chief of staff that they were saying when they forced Herzi Halevi to resign previously is the man of the hour. Smotrich, Netanyahu, everyone was hailing and clapping for Zamir. The man for the job, he's going to occupy Gaza, he's going to listen to us, he's not going to challenge anything. Look at the level of chaos and division. You know, Netanyahu always says, together we will stand, and together we will win. Divided you stand, and divided you will fall too, into oblivion, without return as well. That's what's going to happen. But can you imagine the level where Israeli media and the Israeli Broadcasting Authority is saying that the IDF chief of staff had a secret hive? Imagine you're in a country and you have reports in your national media and national broadcasting authority telling you the IDF chief or your army chief is having a secret group of people that he gets information from. And they're bringing certain names like Gabi Ashkenazi, Israel Ziv, Avi Benyahu, Liran Dan, Matan Dansker. Some of them were previously allied with Netanyahu. One of them was a close aide of Benjamin Netanyahu and left him after they saw the real nature of Netanyahu and how despicable and psychopathic he is. And others are vocal critics of the genocide, like Gabi Ashkenazi, who is a previous IDF chief of staff. I'm not saying that these people are humanists, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying there's the good guys. No. I'm saying these people oppose how Netanyahu is running the campaign. That's it. Not necessarily having a problem against genocide or barbarism. Some of them do to an extent. And they spoke about it, like Bogi Alon said there's ethnic cleansing in Gaza. He was the previous IDF chief of staff. He was the previous defense minister in Israel. I posted the video of the heads of the Mossad, Shabak, and IDF and Amman previously, a couple of days ago, criticizing the war heavily. And some of them were vocal critics of Netanyahu from the beginning. But what are they trying to do here? They're trying to portray the IDF chief of staff as some sort of a treacherous element within the country. A man leading to no good, preparing the ground potentially for Netanyahu and his clan to apply more pressure on him to resign. Basically, we have a traitor here. He's refusing to listen to the orders. And by the way, the only thing that he is doing, and again, that's no praise here, don't get me wrong, is following the protocol and being professional about his role. How? Trying to follow procedures, giving his opinion, voicing his concern, portraying the reality, and giving the political leadership the true image and capability of the Israeli army in comparison to their demands from the Israeli army, so that they don't have any over expectation of what they can or cannot deliver. And we saw the catastrophe in what was called Gideon's chariots or Netanyahu's wheelchair. The biggest attacks of the Palestinian resistance, amateurs were going in, roaming around in APCs with the tops open. A Palestinian resistance fighter comes out of nowhere from under the ground, plants a bomb, kills 7, 8, 9, 10. Time after time after time, exposed completely. So they don't know exactly what they're doing. But then again, how can you order an army to go on this campaign without directly consulting the head of the army? That means there's no campaign. Either there's no campaign or there's no army. One of the two. That's why they're simultaneously talking to you about Israel reconsidering sending a delegation to Cairo and to Doha to restart the talks, because you have to go, because you got a beating. That's why, because you can't defeat the other side, and because you carry out all of this destruction and genocide against civilians as an attempt to apply pressure on your opponents or your enemies there without any success. Plus, now we have more revelations of what the Palestinian resistance was doing to them in the past couple of months. Like Sarai al-Quds, which is the armed wing of the PIJ, they went to monitor a site where Israel withdrew from in the eastern part of Gaza. And they published the following. They announced that 52 occupation vehicles were destroyed. How? Minefields, side bombs, pre-made ambushes from far away. You remember the videos that the Palestinian resistance used to show of explosions coming from a distance? Now they went to the sites. And what did they say? 52 occupation vehicles. And what they mean by occupation vehicles? That means a combination of tanks, APCs, vehicles, transport vehicles, excavators, and other machinery that belongs to the Israeli terror army. And that's only one resistance group in one area of an ambush. And what they've done in the recent campaign, Gideon's chariots. Not only that, the Palestinian resistance is manufacturing weapons made in Palestine 2025, missiles, again the same group, Al-Quds brigades, showing them launching missiles on 2 areas within the occupied territories. Someone explain that to me. Someone explain. Everything is destroyed. And these people are manufacturing missiles. And don't tell me, oh no, they're small and they're ineffective. They're manufacturing missiles. After Israel said, we want to make sure Gaza doesn't pose a threat again, and we want to make sure they're producing missiles. 10, 15, 20 kilometers. Well, we saw one reaching Tel Aviv just a couple of months back. From Al-Qassam brigades, that was. They have a more advanced technology and methods and reach from this movement. But what does all of that tell us? That this whole campaign is a joke. That's why they're going back to talk, and that's why they're declaring that they want to go back to the negotiations. Problems internally, problems with the IDF, problems with the IDF chief of staff, all of these problems. Now, moving on to the following thing that I wanted to talk to you about. Benjamin Netanyahu, he psychopathic, awkward individual, absolutely genocidal. You know the score. I don't need to kind of explain too much. He released this video today. He released this video today, sending a message to the people of Iran. 12th of August. Again, holding a jug of water. By the way, he did the same video, literally a replica of almost the same video 7 years ago.
To the Iranian people, to the brave Iranian people, we know you have water shortage, and our engineers can give you water. And we can help you with water. The only thing you need to do is get rid of your regime.
He's talking about water now and problems that Iran has with water. But Netanyahu, so he's speaking to the Iranian people and pushing them to go and have another revolution against the regime. The tyrant of Tel Aviv, Netanyahu. Why is he saying that? Because he failed miserably. He failed miserably. He was trying to take down the establishment of Iran when they attacked them. That's why they tried to assassinate the president and the head of the Shura Council and the parliament and top security figures, and they did assassinate some figures, and they tried to take down the supreme leader, and they were preparing the little treacherous son of Shah who's going around the world, roaming around, supporting Israel in this genocide. What did they do? The opposite. Iranians who oppose the establishment, all of a sudden, they came together. All of a sudden, they said, you know what? You're not going to protect us. All of a sudden, no. We're with the government in defending Iran, even if we're against them from how they run the country. If we disagree with them, separate story. But when Israel attacks us, we don't want Netanyahu. We'll stand with our government. And guess what? And I'm hearing it directly, as in Iranians who oppose the government spoke to me, myself. We hope that Iran finishes it this time. This is what they were saying. We hope the IRGC and the Iranian army wipe them off, eliminate them. And that wasn't just the Iranians and the Iranian opposition. That was the global population. Iran, please finish the job. I mean, people were celebrating and singing and were on a high in that period. And please continue and don't stop. But why is Benjamin Netanyahu having a statement now? This is the thing that I wanted to get to. Benjamin Netanyahu is having this video now. He had a video on the 13th of June. On the 13th of June, Benjamin Netanyahu was telling the Iranian people, listen, Iranians, we love you and you're brave and we are attacking you and killing you, basically, We were just against the regime. But we want to help you and you're brave and, speaking Persian, what have you. It clearly didn't work, but he did that simultaneously with an attack. Now, what happened now in the past couple of months? The supposed achievements of Netanyahu faded away. All of his propaganda machine failed miserably. All of the attempts to portray this campaign of terror against Iran as a success failed. And he's brazenly talking about the fact that they destroyed their nuclear capabilities and strategic missile capabilities to this day, by the way. But that didn't happen. They still have strategic missiles. They were landing the biggest attacks against Israel up until the final moment. Destroying buildings, literally collapsing buildings in Tel Aviv. And the iron foam wasn't doing anything. Nor David's thing, nor Sparrow, Arrow, Marrow. That didn't do nothing. They destroyed Israel. They destroyed buildings. They destroyed bases. They destroyed strategic places. They destroyed oil rigs. They destroyed the biggest oil refinery factory. They destroyed gas exploration locations off the shores of occupied Palestine. Why is he saying that now? Two things. Number one, he's trying to push the Iranian people to do something. Number two, he's planning something. And he's planning something that could potentially be bigger than before. Not in terms of effectiveness, in terms of theatrics. How? Similar to what he's done in Yemen. Attack a couple of oil fields to cause huge fires. So that the people can see, oh my goodness, look, Israel burns everything and da. That's what he's planning to do. Why? So that when he does come towards a deal, he will have a little bit of a bigger backing with all of the stuff that he says about his accomplishments. Oh, look, look at the fires in Iran. Look at Tehran burning. We killed the Ayatollah regime. All that garbage. In hope that what? He will gain a bit more popularity in the polls, because now he still has a strong base, undeniably. He's still the leading political group in terms of mandates if elections were to happen tomorrow, but only with 24. And to have a coalition, to form a government in Israel, needs 61 members. And his allies, or core allies, will not even pass the threshold. Like Bezalel Smotrich, who came from Ukraine not long ago, and now claims that this land is his. And this statement from Netanyahu is not to be underestimated. He can be serious. And the deal isn't over with Iran. He would like to portray Iran as a weaker state now due to the Israel attacks. That's not the case, and he knows that. And that's why he's having this message now. Because he failed in Iran. Iran is still capable. Donald Trump gave him a very quick rescue rope with this farce of an attack on Fardo and what have you. Just get out. And Iran told them, if you stop attacking, we'll stop attacking. But they did not declare a ceasefire. It was a unilateral declaration from the Israeli-American side. But that threat is real, and don't be surprised if that threat gets implemented soon, even if it doesn't last for longer than a week or two. But purely for Benjamin Netanyahu. And because he's still enabled, and because he is still in power.